presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southeast.
We welcome you to New York City. Another perfect night for baseball here in Flushing, where a big crowd's filing into Citi Field for Game 3 of our 4-game series between the Braves and the New York Mets. Hi again, friends. The Braves and Mets split a doubleheader yesterday. Outstanding starting pitching by Lucas Sims and Max Fried. The youngsters certainly making a very positive impression here in the month of September, Joe. And tonight it's R.A. Dickey's turn to make a positive impression as well in what might be a very memorable start for the veteran right-hander tonight.
Yeah, he had a great August. He stumbled a little bit in early September, but he came out of the chute hot his last outing against Washington and pitched a great ball game. But he is entering a milestone start tonight. This will be his 400th Major League game tonight and his 300th Major League start. So nobody gets to those levels unless you put together a pretty solid Major League career, which R.A. has done. That line against Washington, no walks, 4 strikeouts in 8 innings, picked up the win. He's 10-10 on the year.
R.A. was very emotional after that start in Atlanta, hinting it might have been his last home start as a member of the Atlanta Braves. He's dropping hints that this might be the last go-around. We'll have to wait and see if that's indeed the case. We also have to wait and see when Ender Inciarte is going to pick up his 200th hit. He's sitting on 199. He's had a remarkable year. When we come back, Ender's teammates will talk about his magnificent year leading off for Atlanta as we get you ready for Game 3 between the Braves and Mets in New York tonight.
Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Well, we welcome you back into Citi Field for Game 3 between the Braves and the Mets after splitting the doubleheader yesterday. And last year, we saw Braves center fielder Ender Inciarte earn a Gold Glove for his work in the outfield. Well, tonight, all eyes will be on him again as he chases 200 hits. The Braves leadoff man has been on fire, picked up 2 more hits yesterday, and is now just 1 away for the 2nd most in Major League Baseball. He would only be the 6th Atlanta Braves to record a 200-hit season. So let's see what Ender Inciarte's teammates had to say about this historic run.
He's taken such big strides over the last 2 years hitting, and you can see all his hard work pay off. And if he doesn't get a hit, he's mad, and you can tell that's his competitiveness and just how he wants to play the game. So it's awesome to see him.
Locked in every pitch, takes it very seriously. Takes hitting very seriously, as he does, with his spectacular outfield defense. So just watching him game in, game out, even when he's got some, something bugging him here and there, he wants to be in the lineup and play and give it his all.
200 hits, I mean, that's a lot. It's pretty wild to think about. It's just so consistent, and he never really goes in slumps. And, there's some days where he'll rattle off, like he did in Philly that one day, that doubleheader, like 8 hits in 2 days, or 2 games. And then, he's just pretty consistent. And it's nice to be able to have somebody that you know what you're going to get out of every time you go out there.
So it's a race to the top for Ender Inciarte, who has 6 more games to rack up as many hits as he can, but he'll look to grab number 200 tonight in Game 3 versus the Mets. R.A. Dickey is taking the mound for Atlanta after a split yesterday. Will the Braves be able to clinch at least a series split? Chip and Joe take it back with first pitch of Braves and Nets next.
Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet and the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home. And by Delta Airlines.
Bright lights, big city in New York again. Game 3 of 4 between the Braves and the New York Mets. The regular season dwindling down to its final days. Just 6 games left for Atlanta in 2017. Tonight, tomorrow here in New York, then 4 against the Marlins over the weekend, and then we'll all look ahead to spring training 2018. R.A. Dickey's got the ball for the Braves tonight in what could be his final start as a member of the Atlanta Braves. He's been non-committal as to whether or not he wishes to return. The Braves have an option on his services for next season that obviously has not been exercised, and perhaps the outcome of his performance tonight will have a lot to do with whatever decision both R.A. and the Braves have to make going into this offseason.
Well, it is a nice night, as you said. It's not too often that you come to New York and it really feels warmer than it does in Atlanta, but that's kind of the case. 76 degrees at game time and humidity around 74%. So a little sticky too. It's like a light turnout from a crowd standpoint. Braves split yesterday, as you know. Maybe they can make it 2 out of 3 so far.
And to do that, they'll have to beat Rafael Montero, the man that they saw back in Atlanta, and beat at SunTrust Park. Montero's been somewhat of an enigmatic starter and reliever for the Mets. And because of all the injuries, he's getting an extended look in rotation. Here are Montero's numbers for the Mets.
Well, he's 26 years old, 6 feet, 185 out of the Dominican Republic. He is 5-11 on the year, but a high ERA. Part of that is because the Braves have really beaten him up. 5 games against the Braves. He's 0-3 with a 7.27 ERA. He last started that game, Chip was telling you about on the 15th. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 6. He's got a good arm. He can range up to 95 on his fastball, and he's got an excellent changeup, which is what he uses to get a lot of his strikeouts. But a high batting average against of 302 on the year.
So Montero continues his warm-ups on this, as Joe said, hot and sticky night. Speaking of hot, Ender Inciarte, 1 hit away from 200 this season for the Braves. He'll be followed by Ozzie Albies on the Toyota starting lineup card. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, Tyler Flowers behind the plate. Johan Camargo has the start at third base with Dansby Swanson, Jace Peterson again in left, and R.A. Dickey, of course, is on the mound. Braves are 7-10 this year against the Mets and have dropped 6 of the last 8 games they have played against New York in head-to-head action. So let's see if that changes tonight. Montero, I think, has 1 more, and then we'll get things started as Terry Collins and the Mets trying to finish up what's been a injury-ravaged season here in Flushing, New York. The Mets at 67-90 on the season. If you had flipped those scores or flipped those results, I think everybody would have said, yep, that's the kind of year we expected the Mets to have after the opening bell. But sadly for them, that's not been the case. So Ender Inciarte with a hearty greeting for Joe West, who's got the plate tonight. And we are just about ready for Game 3 action here in Gotham. Ender, by the way, riding a 6-game hitting streak with that .306 average. And Montero is on the move, and the first one missed upstairs, ball 1. Light breeze out of the east at 7 miles an hour, 76 degrees officially, as that one's popped up and out of play for Inciarte. 1-1 the count. The 199 hits for Inciarte, tied for 7th most in a single season in Atlanta franchise history. Terry Pendleton in 1992 and Andrew Jones in the 2000 season also had 199 hits. And a shot down the right field line. There it is, number 200. And Ender Inciarte on his way to second. It's a double, and the Braves are on the roll. 200 hits for Ender Inciarte, and he wants that baseball. What an incredible accomplishment.
It wasn't a bloop. It was a laser to right field. Oh boy, Ron Washington didn't mean to, but he almost threw that in the seats. Congratulations to Ender. Fastball turned on it, and a leadoff double to boot.
The 7th 200 hit season in Braves history as far as Atlanta's concerned, and the first Atlanta Braves since Marquise Grissom to get 200 hits or more. Grissom had 207 hits in 1996. And Terry's laughing at Ron Washington's toss into the dugout. Albies pops it up in a shallow center. Rosario drifts out. He's going to be called off. And in left field, Nori Aoki makes the play for the first out.
Need to hit the ball on the ground, not in the air there, to try to get that runner over. Ozzie's been struggling, 5 for his last 35 before that at bat. That would have been a good out. He could have just got him to third.
Let's see if Freddie can pick him up here. Freddie's hit a bit of a dry spell, 9 for his last 43. That's a 209 mark with 12 strikeouts uncharacteristically in that stretch. And that one's whistled into the seats for strike one. Freddie played game 1 yesterday, took game 2 off. He did go 1 for 5 in the opening game of the doubleheader, a game Atlanta won 9-2.
He didn't get to rest too long. He got a couple of at-bats in game 2 also.
And that's over the inside corner. And he came in the 7th inning and flat out and reached on a pitcher's error. Oh, 2 count, and Montero missed up and away. It's 1-2. There was a time this young man was more highly regarded than Jacob deGrom in the Mets minor leagues. But that high praise has not yet translated to big league success. A 6-16 record with a 5.24 ERA.
Because the life on the fastball is there. He's got a good changeup. I mean, Terry Collins has pretty much said to anybody who's been asking what the deal is, I wish I could tell you. We're trying to figure it out.
Full count.
His last start after that outing in Atlanta was against Miami. Another 4-inning stint, 7 hits, 5 runs. His last 8 2/3 innings, 14 hits and 8 runs.
Had Freddie off stride and he pops it up. Rosario says he's got it, and he does. Those orange wristbands, he puts that away for the second out, and Nick Markakis is the hitter. Nick had a 3-hit day in the doubleheader action yesterday. Drove in a couple of runs. Also had a lot of complaints about the strike zone. He felt that he got way too many low strikes called that weren't in those 2 games. Let's see what kind of strike zone Joe West gives him here tonight. Hunter Wendelstedt had the plate in game 2. That's upstairs. Ball 1 for the Braves right fielder Nick Markakis. He's knocked in 6 of his 74 runs against Mets pitching. No complaint about that one. Even count. So far in September, the Braves are 12 up, 12 down. And trying to win their 10th road series this year. Nasty pitch. Markakis didn't get it.
Montero, with that loaded rotation at the beginning of the year, started in the bullpen. 15 games in the bullpen, a 6.10 ERA. 17 games as a starter, not a vast improvement.
No swing. 2-2.
Braves had a big breakout offensively against the Mets in game 1 with 9 runs on 10 hits. He had not been able to do much with New York's pitching over the previous 6 games or so, but then right back to normal in game 2. They didn't get any runs until the 9th inning.
Fly ball right center field. That ball is down and cut off. Ender will come around and score. Markakis with a head-first slide into second. He's got a double, and the Braves take a 1-0 lead. "39 two-base hits for Nick Markakis."
I'll take the over on 40. I think he'll probably get it, don't you?
Pretty good chance.
Slider that didn't do much. Nick didn't miss it. And added to his team lead in RBIs. He's now got 75.
And like every good player worth his salt, he got his uniform dirty in the first inning. With that head first slide. So the Braves score first. Here's Tyler Flowers. And Montero gets ahead of him. Flowers hit a home run in the first game here in New York. And he just got hit again.
I sure hope that didn't hit his hand.
Tyler Flowers just got hit for the 20th time. Let's see.
Fastball. Back of the elbow on that guard. I don't care how good those guards are, it still hurts. That was a direct hit.
So 2 are on, 2 out. Johan Camargo, the batter. And down and away. Ball 1. I mean, it's amazing to me that Tyler's been hit so much. He doesn't exactly crowd the plate, does he? He's not like Anthony Rizzo.
No, nothing like that.
Line drive into center. And a diving catch by Nimmo. And that retires the side. Milestone for Ender Inciarte leading off the game. A 2-bagger for 200. His 200th hit this year, and he scored the game's first run. 1-0 Atlanta. Mets are coming up in the first.
Dickey on the mound against the Mets, and time for his 4 keys right away tonight. And they are important. Have a clear mind tonight. He's got a lot on his mind, I'm sure, thinking about perhaps this being his last start. We don't know. Only he knows. But also, a Bowery. That's downtown, you know.
Yeah.
Not Upper East Side, not Upper West Side. That's not a good thing for his knuckleball. We want it in the Bowery tonight. Down, sinking down, downtown. 15th season. This will be his 300th start, his 400th career game, and he's got a winning record. Way to go.
4-1 lifetime against the Mets is R.A. Dickey, his former club. And Nori Aoki leads off for them. He's a hot hitter, 6 for his last 18, starting in left tonight. Terry Collins, and the first one in there for a strike.
Right down around the Bowery. Water Park. Is that what it's called? Battery Park.
Bad sails outside for an even count. Ari's coming off of arguably his best start as a Brave. He was absolutely mesmerizing against Washington. He held the Nationals to 4 hits, 2 runs over 8 innings, and did not walk anybody. And you might recall a couple of months ago when he and Tyler Flowers started working in tandem, his walks dramatically dropped. He's had a few high walk games thrown in, but by and large much better control for whatever reason with that knuckleball after the first 4 weeks of the year. That one missed outside, full count.
Braves gave him an early run to work with in that game against the Nationals too, after Inciarte led off with a triple and scored. He gave up a homer to Ryan Zimmerman, gave up a leadoff double to Rendon in the 8th. He eventually scored. That's how they accounted for their runs.
Ground ball to second. Ozzie scoops that up. Good way for Dickey to start. A ground ball out. Retires Aoki, and Jose Reyes batting and playing second tonight is going to stand in. Reyes then is Asdrubal Cabrera on the Toyota starting lineup. Nimmo, Plawecki, Smith, Rosario, Tyrone, and Montero. Very sweet, tender moment yesterday.
Oh, that's what I was about to say too.
Wasn't that great?
That was really touching.
Jose's 8-year-old daughter Jocelyn sang the national anthem, and we are told Jose was so nervous he was shaking, standing in line with his teammates while the anthem was sung. And then after she brought down the house, as any proud parent would do, he wiped away a few tears, brought her a beautiful bouquet of roses, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and then went to work.
She did a great job on it too.
Really, really special. Fly ball, shallow center. Ender coming on, still coming, still coming. He dives and he gets there to Rob Reyes. And Reyes is looking at Ender saying, all right, no mas.
They had a long one-on-one conversation out in center field while they were running to get loose before the game. So he'd probably like to have another word with Ender.
Probably won't be as kind.
No.
As the pregame chat.
Great catch.
See the left thumb of Ender taped up. That's been problematic for him the last 2 weeks. As Dickey goes to work against Asdrubal Cabrera. From the outside looking in, Joe, it looks like the move to third base has helped him, and it's helped the Mets.
I'm sure it's helped his legs a little bit. And he's done a good job over there, much like Brandon Phillips did for the Braves. Cabrera's had good numbers against RA. We talked about that the last time he faced New York. 8 for 26, 3 home runs.
RA's ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes. His 13th pitch to number 13. And it's grounded to second. Ozzie's got another one. And the throw to first in time. Shutdown inning for R.A. Dickey. He gets the Mets in order. We go to the second inning. Dansby Swanson leads off.
And you heard Chip just refer to a moment that happened yesterday when Jose Reyes' 8-year-old daughter sang the national anthem, and he told me he was more nervous than her to the point where he couldn't even get through his normal pregame routine. And when he was out there listening, he said he was shaking so much it was uncontrollable. But he told me it happened because a couple of weeks ago she went up to him and said, "Daddy, I want to sing the national anthem." And he said, "Yeah, okay, I'll talk to the Mets people." And he never did. And then a week later she was like, "Daddy, did you talk to the Mets people? I really want to sing the national anthem." And at that point, him and his wife realized she was serious. They talked to the Mets people, and lo and behold, there she was yesterday doing a phenomenal job with the song.
Yeah, she crushed it. She crushed it. I can't imagine an 8-year-old having that much poise in front of a big crowd with Dad watching, Mom there too. I mean,
she didn't even blink.
No.
She just got after it.
That was a terrific way to start the proceedings here in New York yesterday. So far, so good for Atlanta tonight. Leadoff hit for Ender. Markakis doubled him home, and Ciarte got the 200 hit thing out of the way right away. And now Swanson, Peterson, and R.A. Dickey are coming up. And that's taken low. 3 balls and a strike. We all know what an up and down year, figuratively and literally, this year has been for Dansby Swanson. I think an area that he has seen the greatest improvement was the pitch he just let sail by. Early days of the season, he would have swung wildly at that ball and missed it. Been much more patient, and as a result, getting on base a lot more frequently.
His on base percentage has been terrific since he came back. 4 hits in his last 12 at bats. Be nice to see him bump it up over 240 to finish the year if he can in the last 6 games. This guy's played great too. His average doesn't light you up, but in September he's hit almost 400.
With somewhat sporadic playing time, a lot of that damage has come off the bench. But with Matt Kemp relegated to pinch hit duty, we believe, Jace has gotten his fair share of at bats and starts in left. And so I wonder, Joe, if this success for Jace Peterson has come with an acceptance of what his role is on this team. Everybody wants to play every day if they can. He's not going to start at second over Albies. He's probably not going to start over Johan Camargo, but he's getting his chances and making the most of them in whatever assignment he's given.
And it's not a you're not resigned to giving up that opportunity. You're just accepting the fact that your playing time is going to come in different places and at different times than playing every day, and being prepared for it, being ready to go every time you're asked.
So how hard is that to learn that role when you're used to being in the lineup Monday through Saturday?
It's hard for a kid. Jace is not a kid anymore, and he's had some time in the big leagues, so his adjustment period should be, and his learning curve for it should be rather quick. Some guys can't do it. Some guys just cannot play every 3 or 4 days or even once a week. But Jace is doing a nice job on it.
That ball is smacked toward right and right center. That ball is off the warning track and off the wall. Here comes Dansby around third. They're going to green light him. He's flying toward the plate, and he's going to score with a slide. And the Braves are doubling Montero to death. That's 3 of them in the first 2 innings, and it's 2-0.
As we were saying, nice turn on this pitch. Fastball, enter third. Jumped it. Tyrone flags it down. Sounded like R.A. got a nice hand here.
He did. Former Cy Young winner with the Mets. And he'll try to get Peterson to third base here. R.A.'s got 5 sacrifices. And he lays it down hard to the mound. Montero thought about a play at third, but makes the smart play to first. And Eddie Perez applauds the effort of R.A. Dickey. Runner at third, one out, now the top of the order.
R.A., the 42-year-old wonder, will be 43 next month, showing the kids how it's done to get that runner over.
Now if Ender can make some more solid contact, the Braves might get a third run. .200 hits for the Braves center fielder. That's outside, ball one. He's now 4 behind Charlie Blackmon. Is it just me, or has Ender been gaining ground on him in the last 10 days?
Well, that and the fact that the Rockies, including Charlie Blackmon, have been cooling off.
That one back to the mound and caught on the fly. Montero picks up a big second out.
It's like slow motion, wasn't it?
It was. I thought for a moment it bounced.
Me too.
When Ender slammed on the brakes, clearly it was in the air.
When it collected it just above the ground, did Ender. Change up.
So the infield backs up to normal depth with 2 outs, and Ozzie Albies the hitter, and he takes outside. Mention Ozzie's mini slide. That came on the heels of a 13-game hitting streak. Sometimes these struggles can be a good thing for a young player too, trying to figure out how to get out of it. 5 for his last 36. After he flied out his first time up. A little looper into left field. That's going to get down for a run scoring hit. A 2-out single by Albies makes it 3-0. Love me some 2-out hits.
I know you do. 25 RBIs for Ozzie. Got the foot down. Pitch that was up that allowed him to get to it out away from him. No sinker. It didn't sink enough. What did he do on that dive back?
Maybe the ball hit him. Let's see. Yeah, Dominic Smith missed it and hit him in the head. So that's what it looked like.
At least the ear flaps on that side.
So Montero's troubles have continued. The Braves already 3 runs on 4 hits. And we're not out of the second inning yet. That ball smoked to second, and Reyes somehow came up with it. He looked like a matador waving the cape and then dived out of the way because the bull was charging. And Reyes with a terrific play to rob Freddie Freeman of a hit. Braves though pick up a couple more runs in the second and lead by 3. 2-0 lead. R.A. helped his cause with a sacrifice in the Braves' 2-run second inning. We mentioned he is a former New York Met and had perhaps his greatest season and one of the great seasons in Mets history in 2012 here.
No doubt about it. 20-6 at 2.73 ERA, 230 strikeouts, which is a little less than 100 more than he's recorded this year. So quite a year.
He'll face Brandon Nimmo, and that went through the legs of Joe West, who has a word for Tyler Flowers, and ball 1. Nimmo has 6 hits in his last 4 games. 4 of those hits came yesterday in the doubleheader. He went 4 for 8. And that ball is taken low. 2 balls, no strikes. Well hit to right. That chases Markakis back, and it's over his head and up against the wall at the 370 sign. Nimmo around second will stop there with a leadoff double. And that's the first Mets hit of the ball game. Nimmo continues his hot streak in September. That's his 11th 2-base hit.
Not only that, he's having a good series here. He's hit in 5 straight. 4 for 8 yesterday in the doubleheader. Ripped that double.
Kevin Plawecki is tonight's Mets catcher. Plawecki hitting .239. He'll try to advance the runner as he takes ball 1. Plawecki and d'Arnaud, the Mets catching tandem. d'Arnaud had a couple of hits yesterday, walked as well, including a home run, drove in 2 runs. And that home run in the 8th inning off Ramirez proved to be the difference in the game. Mets led 3-0 before, as Joe said, the Braves got 2 in the 9th.
There's that good knuckleball right there. The one that just dives down. All he can do is top it. That's the Bowery.
That was the Bowery?
Yeah, that's the Bowery ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And now we're even at 2-2. Into the seats, off to our right.
Thanks to that real good season in 2012, his numbers here at Citi Field very impressive. 46 starts overall, a 20-15 record, great ERA and average against. Very comfortable pitching in what used to be his home park.
That was tipped and caught. And Plawecki knew it. He'll take the right turn and head to the dugout. First Dickey strikeout.
There's another one going down too. There's not enough breeze tonight to affect it one way or the other. So it is moving on its own.
Dominic Smith is the hitter, sliding at 3 for his last 32. Smith is 0 for 5 in the series with 3 strikeouts. Swinging bunt. R.A. pounces, throws to first, and got it there ahead of Smith. Runner to third, 2 outs. Now Dansby Swanson will slowly walk in, grab the rosin bag, give R.A. Dickey a chance to get a few extra breaths after this good play.
He called off Tyler Flowers. But one thing that R.A. does that I appreciate is that he then doesn't feel the need to throw a missile to first base. Collects himself a little bit. He gets it there in time. But we see so many pitchers just stand up and throw it down the right field line. He's more interested in making an accurate throw even if he doesn't get the runner. Again, young guys, you watching?
He's got a young guy in the batter's box, Ahmed Rosario, the young Mets shortstop. Hitting .264 in his first big league season. Leadoff double for New York. Nimmo at third. Now there are 2 outs. And the 0-2 pitch.
These are all good signs. All these balls that are topped at the plate. Another indication that that knuckleball is sinking.
That ball was in and out of the glove of Flowers, and Rosario picked it up. You heard Joe West say, "Don't touch it." That was a live ball.
Yeah.
Again, the 2-2. And he struck him out. R.A. Dickey pitches around the leadoff double by Nimmo. He leads 3-0. We go to the third.
The Coors Light XP app. Earn points by entering codes from specially marked 12 packs of Coors Light, playing trivia, or posting on Instagram with the hashtag Coors Light XP Rewards. The Coors Light XP app is available on Android and iOS.
You know, Coors Light, that's my beer.
Do you have that app on your phone?
I'm going to get it.
You should get it.
Wasn't aware of it. I do. I am now.
Can you imagine the points you're going to get with the trivia questions?
Oh,
I mean,
killer.
It's so dominant the last couple of years with trivia. As Nick Markakis leads off, can only carry over to the app.
Well, you know what? There's a consistent line there with the Coors Light and the trivia and how I would kill it is called.
To short, Rosario handles that. One hop rocket, one out.
It's called chugging. Trivia, I'd chug that too.
Markakis 1 for 2 as he grounds out. Tyler Flowers is coming up. While we have a moment, got some very special Braves fans that are tuning in tonight. Want to wish a happy birthday to Michael Speedy Edwards, part of our great crew.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing Speedy down in Miami. And our fine producer Brian Woodrum's kids Carly, Drew, and Evan, triplets for the Woodrum family, celebrating birthday number 16.
Wow.
Today. So Carly, Drew, and Evan, I wanted you to know that before your dad came to work today, he was happy to stop by and visit the Ford dealership here in New York City. I think 3 Mustangs might be appearing in your driveway in the next couple days.
No, I don't know about that.
No?
No, but I did hear something to the effect of, I swing by Tyler. I did hear something to the effect of 1 car with a bench seat and 3 steering wheels.
That the one with the pedals that you see in Central Park? That might work too.
Well, none of them will know which one is actually operating the steering wheel.
That's great. So great night, I'm sure, at the Woodrum household. Kids, your dad's been thinking about you all day, and we wanted to make sure we wished you a happy birthday. Now do your homework and go to bed. Here's Camargo, who lined out to center. His first time up. Strike 1.
Triplets. Got to admire the parents on triplets, boy.
I had a chance to go out to dinner one time with the Woodrum triplets. Now I know why Woody's drinking kale smoothies all the time. You should see those guys go through chicken wings.
Yeah. Well, you had twins.
Had one. There is no comparison.
Man.
Bouncing ball toward third. Nice pick. Second base 1. And a first. A beautifully turned double play. Couple of real wild throws there, but New York made it happen. Cabrera, Reyes, and Smith get Camargo to wrap into the inning ending around the horn double play. Inning number 3. Braves off to a good start. He is a very successful major league pitcher. He's also a very successful author. He's written several books. One of them was entitled Wherever I Wind Up. And this is how he described the knuckleball, his signature pitch, one that is reliant on an amalgam of forces both seen and unseen.
Vocabulary, too.
English lit major at Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. As Travis Tyrone leads off for New York. He's the 8th place hitter tonight. And a base hit to left. So the second straight inning, New York has had the leadoff man on. Jace couldn't find it. And luckily for him, the ball dropped right in front of him. That was weird. So Tyrone's aboard to start the home third.
Boy, did he stay back beautifully on this. Tyrone, foot goes down, but nothing else went forward, and then it was just all hands. Terrific swing on the knuckleball. And Jace, that's a helpless feeling. Where'd it go? What happened to it? Oh, phew.
There it was. So Montero will try to help himself with a bunt, and a close play at first. Tyrone back safely. Pretty remarkable what R.A. Dickey has been able to accomplish. Remember, he was drafted in the first round, got first round money, medical exam, as the ball is bunted to him for the sacrifice. They found out he was born without the ulnar collateral ligament, the Tommy John ligament in his elbow. And instead of getting a giant bonus, the Texas Rangers gave him about a tenth of what he was originally scheduled to get. And he made it through the minor leagues and was pitching, not altogether successfully. And then, as a last ditch to try to keep the dream alive, became a knuckleballer about 12 years ago. And the rest, they say, is history.
Well, without that ulnar collateral ligament, it took an amalgam of
forces unseen and seen,
bones and veins and stuff to hold it together. Bones and veins and things. Well, I really medical on that, wasn't I? Bones and veins.
I tell you what, you were pre-med at Oklahoma, right? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
As Aoki bats and drives one toward left. Jace drifting back, still going, takes a peek at the wall and gets there in time. And Tyrone back to second with 2 outs.
I'd have been better off just saying gristle. It's an amalgam of gristle in there.
That's what Tom Glavine was talking about. We were talking about that at dinner tonight. That R.A. Dickey truly is not only a survivor, but a successful survivor, because he has had to reinvent himself, and that's why we were talking about leadership on the pitching staff and all that. This guy wasn't always a knuckleballer. He's been about it through everything you can possibly go through as a professional pitcher.
He was on his way out basically with the Rangers, and when it was suggested to him to try it, and look what it did for him. Extended his career by about 15 years. Well, actually not quite that long, because he pitched longer without it.
Little pop into foul ground. Reyes is retired, and R.A. Dickey pitches around a leadoff man for the second straight time. 6 pitches in the third. He leads 3-0. 6-0. Time for tonight's Cold Hard Facts, again brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light.
We showed you at the beginning of the broadcast the Braves are 4-3 over their last 7 games because of some good starting pitching. Well, all of a sudden the offense has been a little paltry, but tonight 3 runs on the board already. Hopefully they can add to it. Nope, that's enough for RA.
You know what, though? You look at that 5-7 record. To me, the bigger point is if you get good pitching, you at least have a chance to win. Because if your offense is scoring 3, well, if your pitchers are giving up 2, you got a great chance. How many times this year did we see the Braves go through a stretch like that where they were 1-8, 1-9, 2-10? Because the starting pitching wasn't particularly good. That certainly changed. Atlanta's starters averaging almost 7 innings per start over the last 7 or 8 games, which has taken pressure off the Braves bullpen, which is also on a very nice roll over the last week. So all fits together and starts with the staff.
It sure does. Just look at any of the teams that are going to the postseason, and any one of their managers would tell you it starts with starting pitching. You've got to have it.
One of those teams going to the playoffs is Washington. They're in Philadelphia, winning tonight 1-0. Bryce Harper is back in the lineup for the Nationals. His first game since August 12th. Nationals did a heck of a job without Bryce Harper. They went 26-16 without him.
That's amazing.
And they've got Gio Gonzalez on the mound. He's had a fantastic season for the Nationals. Jake Thompson pitching for the Fightins.
2 at-bats for Bryce, a walk and a strikeout.
I would assume for Dusty Baker, he could care less about anything from Bryce Harper other than he comes out of the game and feels good.
Exactly. Run came on a Howie Kendrick homer.
Former Philly. Montero ahead in the count, 1-2 for Dansby. And that's bounced off the plate again. Other big series is in the American League. A stern test for the Minnesota Twins tonight. The Twins have the second wild card spot in the American League. You'd think just about wrapped up. They've got a 5-game advantage over Los Angeles. They're in Cleveland tonight, and they're beating the Indians behind Bartolo Colon. It's 4-2 in the 3rd. That one softly hit toward Reyes. Funny spin. Bare hand try. Throw to first. Safe. And Dansby legs out an infield hit.
Boy, that had a little 60-degree wedge spin on it when it hit. It just bit right there and started going a little toward the second base bag, which was not what Jose wanted it to do. He had to change directions a little bit. Nice effort, but not enough as Dansby was hustling. That double play they turned a minute ago, I know he threw a 1-hopper over to Smith over there, but that was very athletic by Jose.
Yeah, he got a bit of an awkward feed from Cabrera and looked like he came across the bag and threw across his body and had something on it.
Yeah.
So Reyes has played third base, shortstop, now second base for the Mets.
It's kind of funny that the way their season's gone. Jose started when he came back, played third base. Then there was all kinds of talk that they would move him to shortstop because he wasn't hitting well and they thought he would hit better. Cabrera didn't want to move off shortstop. And now neither one of them are playing short.
And both playing pretty well.
Yeah.
One ball, one strike for Jace Peterson, an RBI double and a run scored in his first at bat. Braves got 1 in the first, 2 in the second, looking to add to the lead here in the 4th. And Jace had a good cut. Ball and 2 strikes. Milwaukee winning at home 4-0 over the Reds. all over but the crying for the Brewers in the Central Division race. They've got to get hot and hope somebody can knock off the Colorado Rockies, who have the second wild card position at the moment. Rockies are home to Miami a little later. Arizona's already wrapped up the home field advantage for the wild card game. All they're waiting for is their opponent, either Colorado or the Brewers, it would appear. Milwaukee's a game and a half back. St. Louis 2.5 back. Cardinals play the Cubs tonight. Pitch is hit towards short. Rosario feeds Reyes. 2 long throws, and Peterson's good speed beats the wrap at first. They force Dansby Swanson for the first out.
Nice play there by the young shortstop. Gave him a nice speed, but too much speed from Peterson to get the double play.
Ball 1 for Dickey, who laid down a sacrifice his first time up. And we'll do it again, even count. There's another bunt from Dickey. Smith will have 1 play. He'll lob it to first. And Jace Peterson at second with 2 outs, and Ender Inciarte a chance to tack on another 2-out run.
Well done. And why not when you got a guy with 200 hits coming up next?
.200 hits. Amazing. Last time a Braves player finished in the top 2 in National League in hits was 1992, when Terry Pendleton tied for the National League lead with the 199 he had that year.
Gosh, that would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? Finish 1 short.
Just need 1 somewhere.
I mean, 199, don't get me wrong, would have taken it any time, but for a guy like Terry to be that close and not get 200.
Three balls, no strikes. So hopefully Ender can put another couple hits on the board tonight, put a little more pressure on Charlie Blackmon. The Rockies face Jose Urena and the Marlins tonight. That's not an easy assignment.
No, sir. $14-game winner.
3 balls, 1 strike. And he takes downstairs, ball 4. So a long inning continues with Ozzie Albies coming up. And welcome to the deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile.
Yeah, when you talk about 200 hits for Ender this year and what a remarkable accomplishment it is, how about this? The most seasons with 200 or more hits all time: Pete Rose, Ichiro Suzuki, and Ty Cobb, the top 3. And how about consecutive seasons with 200 hits? Suzuki with 10, Wee Willie Keeler 8, Wade Boggs 7. Consecutive seasons with 200 or more. Not
unbelievable.
Bad. Yeah, not bad.
Suzuki's closing in on another record this year for Miami. He's got 26 pinch hits this year. The all-time single season record is 28 by John Vanderwall of Colorado. So that's another thing to keep an eye on when the Braves play the Marlins. Not only is Suzuki trying to catch Vanderwall, but Giancarlo Stanton's trying to get to 60 homers. As Montero misses badly, 1 ball, 1 strike. Three-0. Braves have the lead after 3 innings.
Ozzy's getting a lot of those change-ups. He was able to serve one to left field for the RBI, though, his last time up.
And now the 1-2 pitch is cut out and missed. And another changeup retires Albies, who's 1 for 3 in the game. Nothing doing in the Atlanta 4th. Still 3-0 Bravos. Braves, of course, stay in downtown Manhattan. One way to beat the always thick and congested traffic is the Roosevelt Island Tram, the most modern urban aerial tramway system in the world. It goes between the Manhattan Station and 2nd Avenue, between 59th and 60th Streets, and the tram station on Roosevelt Island. It travels a distance of 3,140 feet at 17 miles an hour in fewer than 3 minutes. Each cabin weighs 22,000 pounds empty. The braking load for each haul rope is over 323,000 pounds.
Wow.
And it operates in all weather except for lightning and winds over 50 miles an hour.
Roosevelt Island is where our pal John Shambi grew up.
Really?
Yeah, went to school. Yeah, was raised on Roosevelt Island.
1 pitch popped up right behind the plate, and Cabrera pops out to the catcher and has an anguished look on his face.
And there was a movie that used that tram car that had Sylvester Stallone in it one time. I don't remember what it was called, but there were guys on the tram holding people hostage. And
wasn't Rambo. Rambo 2,
no.
Rambo 3.
No, he was a cop. Sly was a cop.
Huh.
We'll find out. We'll get it.
Our stage manager Bob Anderson was probably an extra in the movie. He's going to check his after card and see what the title of that flick was, as Nimmo grounds to first base but foul, strike 1.
Well, if we've got to rely on Bob's memory, when do we come back here?
Nimmo's had a good run, good series, 5 for 9 against the Braves with a leadoff double in the 2nd, but the Mets wasted that.
Oh, love that one. 63 miles an hour. He's been saving that one tonight.
That's got to drive you nuts as a hitter, doesn't it? You can handle, I guess, getting beat with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, but a 63-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
Well, you could take 3 strides. You could stride, come back, stride, come back, and it still wouldn't be there.
The 0-2 pitch. And R.A. with the grunt had him fooled. That one at 72 miles an hour. And that's 3 R.A. Dickey strikeouts and 2 out in the 4th. He's thrown 11 consecutive strikes, we're told, with the knuckleball combo tonight. And he is breaking out every trick in the book, isn't he?
He's got it working. It's great. He does have a clear mind tonight. Only focused on pitching.
Little blooper foul and out of play. I would imagine, too, you pointed out his great success in this park. The hitters are going to have to provide the power against R.A. Dickey. This is one of the bigger ballparks in the National League. He's not going to get hurt ordinarily with a home run ball here at Citi Field.
No, I mean, it's a big enough park that he can give up some fly balls and live to tell about it.
Two flyouts, 2 pop-outs, 3 strikeouts. The out distribution to this point, and that one's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
I bet he felt good about Joe West being behind the plate tonight. I'm sure Joe has umpired back there on many occasions when R.A. has started. Joe West is, as you pointed out at the beginning of this series, umpired over 5,000 Major League Baseball games. Only 2 other men have done that. And like him or not, he's a good umpire, and he's a real good ball and strike umpire.
Little chopper hit toward third. Ball stays down for Camargo, but a gentle flip of the wrist. That retires Plawecki, and R.A. Dickey set down 6 straight. We go to the 5th. Freddie Freeman's coming up, facing a Mets club that he has enjoyed playing against, and especially so here in the Big Apple.
38 games. Check it out. 24 extra base hits and 24 RBIs in 38 games here. Not bad. OPS again is batting average plus on base percentage plus slugging.
Montero down 3 runs, and he goes to work and misses inside.
Montero's had base runners every inning. The Braves have had at least 1 hit every inning.
Fouled at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Wild game continues in Cleveland. It's 4-4 in the 3rd. The Minnesota Twins, Bartolo Colon, Josh Tomlin for the Indians, who are 29-2 since August 24th. 29-2.
That'll get it done most of the time. Yeah, I'd say Minnesota's got that wrapped up, wouldn't you, for the second wild card?
The magic number's 2. They win and the Angels lose. They are headed to the playoffs. And how about that swing by Freddie Freeman? They gave him the hole with the shift on, and he just poked it right where Rosario would have been standing. And Freeman's got a leadoff hit.
I don't know if he was looking for a change up there, but it looked like it the way he stayed back and took it the other way. He got his front foot down quickly and hit it sharply.
The Braves continue to have a hit in every inning. They have 7 so far tonight. Nick Markakis had a first inning double that brought home Ender Inciarte, who picked up his 200th hit.
Andy Fletcher's the second base umpire tonight. And I'm sure, like a lot of umpires, he probably played a lot of baseball in his youth. I wonder how long it takes an umpire to get out of the habit of a ground ball hit to you, to get out of the way and run the other direction. You know, not make a play on
right.
it and forget and kind of, oh yeah, I'm not playing. I don't have a glove on.
That was pretty close at first base, by the way. Dominic Smith with a tag as Freeman went in standing up, and the Mets staff scurries to the phone. They might take a look.
Freddie's trying to tell him not to. They're yelling at him.
That was close. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good try there by Montero. Better eye for Markakis. Squibber out towards short. Second base 1. Reyes the turn, and not in time. Terry Collins pounding the dugout netting in frustration. That was close. Mets are taking a look here. Bang bang play at first. They do get the force out at second.
Not a good feed again. Reyes is doing the best he can to try to turn these double plays on horrible feeds. I realize Rosario was kind of off balance there, trying to plant that foot and couldn't stop his momentum from going toward third, but still threw it to the left field side of second base where Reyes had no chance.
Yeah, we saw a game in Atlanta where Rosario made 2 errors in an inning.
Yeah. Back to back, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah. And my point is, I guess it's going to take him a while to hit, I would think, at this level. If that's the case, he's got to make all those plays.
Sure.
Tyler Flowers was hit by a pitch in the first, single in the third, and bounces 1 foul at third. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Flowers retired on strikes. 2 outs. So with Markakis at first, Johan Camargo is the batter. The Mets have robbed him twice with good defensive plays. And here's Johan's work since coming back from the disabled list. Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Absolutely terrific. And he entered play tonight with a .302 average, and that's second best among all rookies. Easily could have at least 1 hit tonight, maybe 2.
Rolled toward Cabrera. He's got it. And his strong throw to first is in time. And that retires the side. Halfway through game 3 of 4 in New York. Braves are shutting out the Mets.
And we told you about Jose Reyes' daughter singing the national anthem today. Well, he also told me that he sings too. He's actually a rapper and has gotten millions of views of his songs on YouTube. And 2 of his teammates, Rosario and Nito, actually both walk out to his song. Rosario is due up second this inning, so we'll hear one of his songs then. Reyes tells me that his songs have everything to do about motivation for kids, and he actually recorded a new song on Wednesday, and that'll be released right after the season. And he said he's also finishing a recording studio in his house, and on top of that, he owns his own record label. So I think his daughter is set up pretty well if she wants to continue this, guys.
Well, and that, Kelsey, there's an opening for you, you know. Go over there and record your songs that you've been singing to us on the plane and on the bus.
Ground ball to second. On the first pitch, Dominic Smith is retired, 1 out.
Joe, did you just expose me on television to my singing to you guys?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was singing or snoring, but it was really good.
It had a rhythm to it, right?
Yeah.
I have no rhythm, so I don't think that is correct.
So that's one of Jose Reyes' songs that Rosario uses for his walk-up music. You guys didn't have walk-up music in your day, did you?
No.
If they had walk-up music, here's the pitch, which is scorched to center and right at Ender. He's got it, 2 outs. What would your song have been?
Anything by ZZ Top, probably.
Really?
Well, don't be so surprised.
No, I thought it'd be like something to do with Oklahoma, you know? I mean,
well, it could be, but could do Boomer Sooner, but that'd get old. A lot of people.
They'd love you in Arlington for that, right?
Yeah, right.
2 quick outs for Tyrone. There have been a lot of Major League Baseball players who've branched out into the music world. Bronson Arroyo, former Reds pitcher, who's announced his retirement, has released some music. Brett Myers, former Phillies pitcher, is a musician. I believe he's in the country music world now. And of course, Bernie Williams with the Yankees was a classical guitarist.
Oh,
yeah. He's extremely musically talented. And strike 3 takes care of Tyrone. And Ari Dickey's rolling. 9 up, 9 down, a 6-pitch 5th inning. Wild card race in the National League. Milwaukee still has a shot. Cardinals are 2.5 back. Redbirds have the Cubs tonight and are leading 1-0 in the first off Jake Arrieta. Cardinals had some bad news last night. See what happened to Yadi Molina?
Yes.
2 foul balls back to back in the same spot, and he had to go through the concussion protocol and to come out of the game. I don't believe he's playing tonight. May be able to come back tomorrow, but if not, then
he wants to. They may not let him.
Right.
I mean, he got ill on the way to the dugout. Didn't even make it to the dugout.
And his manager, Mike Matheny, knows all about the ravages of concussions behind the plate. Mike's career was really cut short by all those foul balls he took to the mask. And when asked about it after the game, he said, I cringe every time any catcher takes a shot like Yadi did last night, much less 2 in a row. He came off the bat of Chris Bryant, and Molina is not in the starting 9 for St. Louis. So that would be a crushing blow for the Cardinals. I think play Milwaukee the final series. Maybe wrong about that. I'll have to check.
Well, back to the wild card race. I mean, if the Rockies take care of business, they're in. But not only do they have Miami there right now, I think they finish up at home with the Dodgers.
And I was incorrect. Cardinals play Arizona, so that'll be interesting.
Rockies have no easy path to clinch.
Three balls, 2 strikes for Dansby Swanson, who's walked and reached with a single, and now he's down on strikes. I asked Gretchen to look it up for us because if things stand the way they are in the National League, it'll be Colorado visiting Arizona for the play-in game. We know Zach Greinke is going to pitch for the Diamondbacks. Arizona is 11-8 against Colorado, but they split 10 games in Phoenix. 5-5. Don't know who would start for Colorado.
I'm guessing John Gray, unless he's got a pitch Sunday to get him in.
Just to get him in. And that's, again, the very exciting thing about the wild card. There is a heavy penalty to be paid if you don't win the first one, and certainly if you don't win the division. So, you know, Phoenix will be rocking for that play-in game. The winner will advance to play the Dodgers, it appears. LA won their 100th game yesterday. They're 157 for the season.
Montero's got it working now. Using the slider more than the changeup, and it's good.
1-2 pitch for Jace. And bounced foul, and that's why I use the term enigmatic with this guy. He has electric stuff. He's got the pitches. For whatever reason, on a consistent basis, he has not been able to put it all together, either for a 2 or 3 game stretch, or in this case, 4 or 5 innings in a row.
If they get all their guys back, he's going to be either in the bullpen or the guy has insurance in Vegas. So he's got to really show something. So far he's losing tonight, but he has blanked the Braves the last 3 innings, and then he'll probably get one more start.
.94 pitches for him with 1 out in the 6th.
Speaking of that, I talked to Mike Poltonevich briefly last night after the game.
That's hit to the left side. Rosario loads up and got in by a quarter step. He's got a strong arm. Almost waited too long to get Peterson, but he did. 2 outs.
He had to get Peterson. To Mike last night. He showed me his finger. It's right underneath the fingernail where he cut it, and it looks real tender, real like new skin. I can't imagine that he could go out there and try to pitch and it not tear up again. So that's why they decided not to use him the rest of the way.
So as it stands now, Newcomb will pitch tomorrow. The Braves have lined up Tehran, Gohara, Sims, and then Sunday's starter is not yet known. Might be R.A. Dickey, might be someone else.
Well, it's nice to see that Sims is in there. I saw him today, and I told him what a good job he did yesterday. And I said, well, are you going to get another start? He said, I really hope so, but I haven't been told. So you've now been told, Lucas.
Yeah, it's on the front page of the press notes. So ought not be any surprises as to who's pitching, as the Braves have R.A. Dickey up there with an 0-2 count. And fouled away. Josh Smoker is up in the Mets bullpen. Montero's due first in the 6th inning. R.A.'s retired 9 consecutive hitters. And up the middle, it's a base hit. Have yourself a night. If this is his swan song, he is doing everything in New York.
Slider too. Nice job. Choked up on the bat. Contact. 9th hit of the year.
So Ender Inciarte, who doubled in the 1st inning for his 200th hit, gets another chance here in the 6th inning. His 4th time up. He's lined softly to the pitcher and walked in his other 2 visits. That's headed for the seats left side, and protective netting all the way down past the dugout, about 6 feet above the playing surface, angling out toward that corner.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Fans appreciate it too, I'm sure.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a bouncing ball right at Smith at first. He's got it. And that retires the side. R.A. Dickey has a hit among his many accomplishments tonight. He leads 3-0 as we go to the home sixth.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Pretty night in New York. Braves lead the Mets 3-0. This is game 3 of 4. The story of the night, though, is R.A. Dickey for Atlanta. He's firing a 2-hit shutout at New York.
His 400th major league game, his 300th start. And nobody knows, but there have been rumors that, this might or might not be his last start in the big leagues. If it is, he's going out in style because he has done it all tonight. He's pitched great. He's put down 2 sacrifice bunts. He has a base hit. Outstanding.
And he's having, frankly, an easy time of it. He's averaging about 10 pitches per inning. And has set down 9 straight men. He's got Gavin Cecchini up there pinch hitting for Montero, who leaves after 6. Right back where it came from. See Dickey keep the glove on the ground, play that perfectly. 10 up, 10 down. And not much solid contact by the Mets.
What would be really cool, I mean, because his pitch count is so manageable right now, is to be out there for the last out. If that's what he's chosen to do, that would be really neat.
Well, this start for RA is really in keeping with what we talked about in our pregame commentary. Over the last 6-7 games, the Braves starters are averaging almost 7 innings per outing. Dickey coming off an 8-inning affair against the Nationals. Aoki, long throw, and Dickey tumbles to the ground and got his man by a step. He's made that play twice. 2 quick outs.
Planted, made sure he got his feet under him so they didn't slide out from under him. And again, an accurate throw.
We've seen RA make a throw like that several times. I wonder if that is a product of not having that elbow ligament. If he has to use his legs and his body to help sort of catapult the ball to the first base.
But he's got such a stiff, quick throw on his pickoffs. Who knows? Maybe it's distance that's more reflective of that absence of a ligament than 60 feet 6 inches.
Jose Reyes has popped out twice. And takes another floater in for a strike. Even count. the outside corner. He has got these guys befuddled. Reyes fought it off at 80 miles an hour. And he'll get another swing here in the New York 6th. Ground ball to second. Ozzy's got it. And R.A. continues to roll. 12 up, 12 down. He's through 6 with a 3-0 lead. And the heart of the order coming up for Atlanta. It's R.A. Dickey show tonight at Citi Field. Your #1 mobile app for live Braves baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Atlanta Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Joe, Kelsey, and Chip with you from New York. Montero's night is done. He departs after 6 innings of 8-hit, 3-run ball, and he gives away to Josh Smoker, who's pitching in his 53rd game. We saw Mr. Smoker down in Atlanta, and we saw him in game 1 of the doubleheader. He pitched an inning of 1-hit ball.
Throws hard, mid-90s, good curveball, split finger pitch. Georgia guy.
So Ozzie Albies goes to work and drives the first pitch from Smoker into left field for a base hit. So Ozzie with a 2-hit game. And he's a threat to run. Let's see if the Braves put him in play.
Smoker is born in Atlanta, lives in Calhoun now. Had this fastball ripped to left. 6'2", 255.
One ball, no strikes for Freddie Freeman, who's back in the lineup tonight. Freddie had a 5th inning single. And he drives this one toward left center field. That'll get down in front of Nimmo. And Smoker has been greeted rudely. Back-to-back singles for the Braves with nobody out. Well, in this way, the Mets and Braves are very similar. One of their first orders of business this offseason is to mend their bullpens.
Breaking ball that stayed up for Freddie.
The Mets this year have suffered 27 losses by their bullpen. They have seen their pen allow 82 homers.
Wow.
They have a 4.80 bullpen ERA, next to last in all of baseball. And since August 25th, their pen has given up 80 earned runs in 112 innings. So there's been very little relief for Terry Collins' starting staff. Fouled away by Markakis, strike one. Now, some of those bullpen problems, because Familia missed 2.5, 3 months with a blood clot in his shoulder. He's trying to pitch himself back in. And I would think having him and Ramos back to back in the 8th or 9th inning next year is a nice heads up for them going into next season. Levens is always tough.
Yeah, but one of the guys that they really were counting heavily on was Hansel Robles. And he's made 44 relief appearances and has 12 decisions. He's 7-5 with an ERA of almost 5. And he's typically, you know, a 1, maybe 1 1/3 innings type setup guy, and he's had a tough season.
So sadly for Terry Collins, with all the injuries to his starting staff, he has had some choiceless choices to make when he's had to make a pitching change. So far, Smoker has given up 2 hits, and he just got Markakis to tip one on a check swing. There's a break for the Mets lefty. Nick's retired on strikes, 1 away.
I started to say a minute ago, last inning actually, about it couldn't get his bat out of the way of that high heater. But about Ender Inciarte, 200 hits. You don't get 200 hits if you don't play. Terry's going to make a pitching change, so I'll make this quick. Ender's been out there for 153 games of the 157 the Braves have played. That's going to the post and being there every night and being counted on.
3-0's your score. Pitching change for the Mets. We'll tell you who's next in a minute. Football doubleheader as Rice takes on Pittsburgh. Then it's number 17 Louisville battling Murray State. The action kicks off Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox Sports Southeast and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. With the Nostradamus of baseball, Joe Simpson, Chip Carey with you. The reason being, he just mentioned Hansel Robles, and here he is with 2 on and 1 out in the Atlanta 7th.
And there are those numbers: 44 games, 12 decisions. That's either luck or good luck or bad luck, depending on which side of the ledger that decision falls on. Lefty's not doing anything against him because he's got a good slider. He throws hard, mid to upper 90s for Robles, but primarily fastball slider.
And the first man he'll face is Braves catcher Tyler Flowers, who was hit by a pitch for the 20th time, his first time up, and that does not lead the National League, believe it or not. In fact, that very painful statistic is good for 3rd in National League play. Josh Harrison and Anthony Rizzo of the Pirates and Cubs have each been hit by 23 pitches this year.
I sure understand Rizzo's much as he crowds the plate. But see what Tyler does. I mean, he doesn't. His stance isn't close to the plate. He does step back into the plate, but his hands are out away from his body. They're not. At least they don't really go backwards toward the umpire. They're kind of going out in front of him.
Ooh, turned on that baby, didn't it? Into the third deck and then a long ricochet. And 3 hops later, that fan came up with a souvenir, and Flowers might have broken his bat.
Didn't sound like it, did it? Upper deck. It's kind of like that ball that Altair hit out of SunTrust Park the other day on a ball similar to that.
Runners go. Pitch a strike. The throw to third is terrible. Plawecki threw a lawn dart that skipped a good 7-8 feet in front of the third base bag in foul ground, and that's an easy double steal for Atlanta. And is Joe West going to call interference here? I think he's calling umpires interference. I think that's what I heard Joe West say from our field microphones. Was it Joe West that got in the way inadvertently of Plawecki?
And maybe when he brought his arm back to throw, he bumped Joe and caused him to throw wildly. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Let's see here. Nope. Well, now we're told it's unintentional interference by the batter, but Joe West is acting like it was he that bumped Plawecki.
Yeah. I mean, if Albies had been stealing the third base coaching box, Plawecki would have had him by a mile.
Another look.
You know, he raised up, and maybe Joe was kind of hovering over him a little bit when he raised up.
And maybe Plawecki backed into him. I've never seen that, because Tyler never left the batter's box where he's entitled to be.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. If he called it on himself, I've never seen that.
And that's what I thought I heard Joe West say when I saw him walking out. Runners are going back, umpire interference. I've never heard that called either. So break for the Mets. And now a 2-2 count for Tyler Flowers, who's 1 for 2. 3-0 Braves lead. And skipped up there. Johan Camargo's on deck, looking to improve on an 0 for 3 night. They're going again. Swing and a miss. Throw to third. On target, but too high to get Albies. The double steal does come, but it comes at the cost of a Tyler Flowers strikeout.
Another good jump and a much closer play, like you said, Chip. But both runners get credit for a stolen base. Always beats the tag. Freddie gets a freebie. Freddie's got 8 stolen bases on the year. And Albies 5.
So it might score you 2 here and extend the lead, which is now 3-zip. Both runners belong to Josh Smoker, who was taken down after he struck out Nick Markakis. Camargo with 27 RBIs entered play tonight at 302. He's down to 298 now. Serves that one out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. It may only be 1 point on a batting average. Big difference between a 299 year and a 300 year. See if Johan can pick up those 2 points right here.
Dale Murphy had 398 homers or something like that. That was so close to another big mark. I think Al Kaline was the same way. What a great player Al Kaline was. Look him up.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's upstairs. Kaline, a great Detroit Tiger. As the 2-1 pitch is lifted on the infield. Asdrubal Cabrera gives way to Rosario, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. Robles bails out Smoker. 7th inning stretch. R.A. Dickey back to work with a 3-run lead. Access to SunTrust Park or field access to shag fly balls? Well, you can do it by joining the A-List by October 15th, and you can get an invite to the 2017 A-List Play Day. 2018 A-List memberships are now on sale. Members get the best seats at the best prices, along with VIP benefits. Now is the time to get the best seats at the lowest prices. Go to Braves.com/A-List today. Braves are very proud, and justifiably so, at drawing 2.5 million fans to SunTrust Park in their inaugural season, roughly 500,000 more than they did their final year at Turner Field.
And did you see the number? The Braves Foundation, $550,000 donated to so many needy causes in the Atlanta metro area. What, talk about another source of pride. That's awesome.
So R.A. Dickey to work in the home 7th.
He's the story tonight.
12 up, 12 down, 62 total pitches. And his first to Asdrubal Cabrera is taken for a ball low. Cabrera's a man that's had R.A.'s number in the past. Today, Cabrera's made soft contact twice and is 0 for 2. Another slow roller. This one should be easy for Freeman, and he'll take it to the bag. 1 out.
I don't remember a start all year long where there have been this many little soft tappers. I saw a Broadway play once that had some soft tappers, but even they were hitting the ground harder than these.
So 13 in a row retired by R.A. He's given up 2 hits tonight. The first of them was a double by Nimmo in the 2nd inning. He was left stranded at third base. Out at the plate.
Nothing but an ankle ball on that one, thanks to his Bowery pitch tonight. That thing was diving.
That's why he wants his catcher on a knee. He wants that low pitch to have the best possible look for the home plate umpire. And it has been darting and diving tonight, as you said. Not east side, west side, but down low. A line drive into right field. Not hard hit, but Nimmo fought it off. And that snaps the 13 straight retired streak by R.A. He goes back to the stretch with 1 out.
And it was one that stayed up. It just stayed up about letter high, made it easy for Nimmo to pick on it. Frustrating part for R.A. was probably that he thought he had him struck out on what looked like a backdoor slider the pitch before and just missed getting the call. Nimmo continues to play well for the Mets.
A 6-for-11 series. And another game to be played here tomorrow night. Here's Plawecki, double play in order. He's 0 for 2 and fouled away. Strike 1. Cardinals 5, Cubs 1, third inning in St. Louis. Colorado 4, Miami nothing in the second.
Trevor Story 3-run homer in the first.
Wow, off Urania.
Colorado got 4 in the first.
Milwaukee 6-2 over the Reds at Miller Park in the fourth. Phillies 3-1 over the Nationals, 6th inning. Harper back for Washington tonight. And in the starting lineup, Minnesota 4-4 with Cleveland in the 5th. Angels winning in Chicago 6-1. Even if Minnesota wins, they can't clinch their wild card tonight. They could, however, reduce their magic number to 1 for the second AL wild card. Houston's beating Texas 4-1. Yankees 4-1 over Tampa Bay. Toronto 5-1 over the Red Sox. If those scores hold, Yankees would be 3 behind Boston again, I believe. Yes.
Like the Rangers and Astros had some more ugliness last night. McHugh and Carlos Gomez still looked like Gomez was kind of trying to incite something, and McHugh wouldn't bite. And then words were exchanged and benches emptied.
I have one suggestion for Carlos, who's an enormously talented player. You ready?
Yeah.
Decaf. Just trying to help.
Yep, that would work.
Tigers are up 1-0 in Kansas City. Read something interesting today. As we know, Brad Ausmus in his final days as the manager of the Detroit Tigers. When they are preparing to go through what the Braves have gone through, what the Cubs have gone through, the Phillies are going through, very important to pick the right guy to lead your squad. And a name that I read today might be interviewed was Freddie Gonzalez, the former Braves manager. Currently the Marlins third base coach. That's not an easy thing when you are trained to win and you want to win every game, and you get hired, and if you get hired, to oversee that rebuilding.
One of the guys that's still in Detroit is Miguel Cabrera. Did he and Freddie overlap in Florida?
Maybe as coach and player.
Yeah.
I don't know if Freddie was the manager there.
You know, it might be something that Miguel had some influence on, or
could be.
Put his name out there.
And he's hurt too. A couple of herniated discs for Cabrera. And that's out of play. Look, you got to respect what the Tigers tried to do for their late great owner, Mike Ilitch. He spent large amounts of money, tried to do it through free agency, smart trades. For whatever reason, it just didn't click for the Tigers to get to the World Series and win that ever elusive championship. Now, Bill's got to be paid. And it's left to his sons to make some of those trades and figure out what to do with Miguel Cabrera and start over in Motor City. Has a great fan base, great ballpark, very proud city of Detroit, and a good man in Alavita as the general manager. Fly ball. That might be trouble. It's going to be way out of here. A long homer by Kevin Plawecki spoils the shutout bid. A single and a homer makes it a one-run game. So the forces seen and unseen turn into a long homer for Plawecki.
Another one just kind of stayed right there. RA pretty much knew it. He wanted a new baseball. Knuckleball's been diving all night, but two that didn't, to Nimmo and Plawecki this inning.
So it's a one-run game in the 7th, as that one's taken for a strike for Dominic Smith. Braves have had a lot of base runners tonight. 10 hits. They've left 8 on base and now have a one-run lead.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be an issue leaving all these guys on base because of the way RA was pitching. But now all of a sudden it's a one-run game, and you look back and you see a lot of runners left on base. 9.
I've got 4 of those 9 in scoring position so far. So a 2-1 count for Smith, who's 3 for his last 34 for New York. And a swing and a miss, 2-2.
This guy got off to a pretty good start when he got called up, and then scouting reports start going around, and he's 3 for 34.
The 2-2 pitch. He is bounced up there. It's a full count. There is action in the Braves bullpen now. Dan Winkler is the man loosening. "19 pitches in the inning for R.A. Dickey. A single and a homer with 1 out. And a roller to the right side. Ozzie bobbles for a moment, but recovered with quick hands to take care of Smith for the 2nd out. And here's Ahmed Rosario. The young Met shortstop has struck out and lined out. Strike 1.
"21 years old, won't be 22 till November."
That might be trouble. It is trouble. That's going to roll all the way to the fence. Rosario on his way around second. He's going to try. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. Slightly off target. If Camargo didn't have to catch it and reach all the way around his body, they might have gotten him. Instead, it's a 2-out triple.
Well, we just saw another part of his game. He can run. 6'2", 190 pounds, long legs. Nice effort there by Camargo, even though the throw was off the mark. Almost.
And so with the tying run at third base, Brian Snitker is on his way out. A couple of things might be in play here. With the knuckleball, you worry about a wild pitch, which could tie the game. Ryan Snicker also wants to know what R.A. Dickey wants to do in this sequence, because the pitcher spot is due up after Travis Tyrone.
Well, remember, Snit left Julio out there the other night. Not this time. It's going to be a change.
Great night for R.A. Dickey.
Tremendous.
Game number 400, start number 300. He's given up 5 hits against his former club, the Mets, in Game 3 of the series. Rosario with a triple. Great night for R.A. Dickey. There's his line, 84 pitches. The man at third, of course, belongs to him. And as you'd expect, R.A. Dickey respects the game and the moment.
And a nice hand from Braves fans and Mets fans alike here in a park that used to be home. No walks. Second straight start, he's had no walks.
So, as you suggested, R.A.'s hope for a clear mind. I can only imagine what's going through his mind right now as he's thrown his last pitch of this game. And with all the talk that he began after his last start in Atlanta, can only wonder if that's the last time we'll see him come off a major league mound. If so, what a game.
Yeah, and he's still got the lead. Needs Dan Winkler to get an out here to preserve the lead.
Well, the Braves bullpen has been outstanding. Last 6 games, just 2 earned runs, covering 13 2/3 innings, because the Braves starters have been going deep like Dickey did tonight.
Winkler came in yesterday in game 1 and gave up a hit, but it was a 2-run double. The runs belonged to Lucas Sims, who had a shutout to that point.
So Tyrone, the batter. So the challenge for Tyrone, got to adjust quickly from the knuckleball to low 90s heat from Winkler. Tyrone had the second hit against R.A. and until this 7th inning was the last Met to reach. That was way back in the 3rd. Swing and a miss.
Took a little off of that pitch. Had him out front. Almost like something that backed up.
Swing and a miss. Nice job by Winkler to preserve the lead for that man, R.A. Dickey. The Mets get a couple of runs in the 7th, but they don't get the lead. 3-2 as we get set for the 8th inning. Time for the big story. Let's join Rebecca back in our Atlanta studios. Conversation, I'm sure, taking place on the dugout bench between Dickey and his catcher, Tyler Flowers. And an amazing conversation took place on the mound when Brian Snitker went out. In a one-run game, you give a veteran pitcher like Ari Dickey every bit of latitude he wants to try to finish what he started. And in a situation like that, I think Joe, a manager, wants an honest answer, and it looks like Brian got one.
It looked like, reading lips, that he said, I think you should go with him.
Meaning Winkler.
Winkler. So if there was any dispute about whether or not he was taken out against his will, let's say, I think that was dispelled by what it appeared to be said there.
And for Ari Dickey, I mean, he could have been as selfish as he wanted. I'm staying in this game. You're not taking me out. But
well, he may have been given that choice.
He's, I'm sure, aware of how well the pen has pitched, how well Winkler has pitched, but ultimately get a fresh arm in and try to win the game.
And that's what we applauded Brian Snitker for doing with Julio the other night, leaving Julio in to get a tough out with 2 out in the inning. That proved decisive. And I'm confident that Brian gave R.A. that same opportunity.
So the lead's still intact for Atlanta. It is, however, just a 1-run advantage, with Dansby Swanson leading off the 8th inning. 3-2 Braves lead it. And Robles got a generous outside corner. 3-1. At the knees, it split the plate. Full count. And Dansby takes a leadoff walk. Thank you very much. And Jace Peterson's the hitter. Jace with a double, a run, and an RBI. Let's see if the Braves think about trying to steal a base. Micah Johnson grabs a bat, and Jace bunts very late. And right to Micah, standing in the on-deck circle. Popped up. Aoki in left field near the line. Makes the play. So Jace tried to bunt on the first pitch, then skies one to left and is retired. Micah Johnson is pulled back, and it looks like Matt Adams will come out. Matt's still pretty much playing on one leg. That hamstring is still bothering him badly. He did have a pinch hit single in game 2 last night. In fact, he had a couple of pinch hit singles in the doubleheader. And a crowd tonight of 21,938. Waits to see what the Braves can do with Matt Adams and Dansby Swanson at first base. Good cut.
Matt was hilarious today. Before the game, I had on my tie here, new tie, and I was asking Chip his opinion, and before he could get an answer out, Matt walked by and he goes, well, Matt's a big guy on fashion. Matt, what do you think about it? He said, well, it's a nice tie, but just so you know, I don't know much about fashion.
Squibber just foul past third. He liked it, though. He liked your ensemble tonight.
Yeah. Got a thumbs up.
That's been a great addition. Forget what he's done on the field, which has been exemplary. He's been a good soldier. This one's high in the air to center and should be easy for Nimmo, and he finds it, makes the play. 2 out. Back to first to Swanson, back to the top and Ender Inciarte. Really respect guys like Adams, who again we're used to playing a lot, and with Freddie Freeman moved away from third base and back to first, that cut into Matt's playing time, and now final 2 weeks playing with a nagging injury that just isn't 100%, and still more often than not gives you a quality at bat in important situations in the game.
It's hard to get your work in when you got a bad hammy. It is hard to do the things you need to do to stay ready, get all the swings you want. But he's been such a good teammate that if he's not back here, I hope he gets an opportunity somewhere to play every day next year. As we've said, there are a lot of teams that are desperate for some power at first base. Atlanta's not one of them.
1 ball, no strikes for Ender Inciarte, who's 1 for 3, 200 hit man for Atlanta. And the count 1-1.
His run scored in the first inning gives him 93 for the season.
Line drive toward left. Aoki got there. And that retires the side. Thought for a minute he had that misplayed. No such luck, and Robles works around a leadoff walk.
Authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
3-2, bottom of the 8th inning. Sam Freeman is on to pitch for Atlanta. We have said it so many times, it's still worth repeating. This young man has had a breakout year out of the Braves bullpen. He's been busy, he's been consistent, and he's been real good.
He certainly has. Pitched in the second game last night, 7th inning. He came in, struck out 2, gave up a double, pitched around that, gave up the double to Nimmo, but had 1 strikeout on a pitch that was 97.
So Travis d'Arnaud is going to hit for Robles, who pitched an inning and 2/3 of 1 walk, hitless relief.
That was a great call by Tyler Flowers. Remember, in the 8th last night, he led off and tomahawked the first pitch fastball, ambushed it into the seats. They start him with a slider tonight.
Nice comeback year for d'Arnaud, who had all kinds of injury problems and a disappointing offensive season.
Bring it, Sam.
Nothing wrong with 96 from the left side. And it's the count 1-2. Far enough.
Far enough.
Hear that dog barking? There's a dog barking somewhere in the park. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What if one of the police officers has a canine companion that's a little rambunctious late?
Thought I did hear it, and then Otis Day and the Knights broke out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Broken bat. Roller to the left side. Johan's got it, and his strong arm gets d'Arnaud. There's the first out of the 8th inning.
Whether real or not, one of the things you like about that play is the awareness of Camargo. Catcher running. d'Arnaud can't run out of sight in 2 days, and he didn't rush that play on a slow roller where somebody else might have. Took his time, and with his arm he can do that.
Nori Aoki is 0 for 3. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
There's a new one on me. All this time in the major leagues. Out there on the sign on the upper deck. The official cheese puff of the New York Mets. I don't know that I've ever seen that in the park before.
No.
Yep. Quite an honor.
I can't believe we haven't had any of those official cheese puffs in the booth.
Somebody wake Bob up.
Lefty walk. That's the tying run. Now Reyes is coming up. Reyes 0 for 3. It's popped to center, third, and grounded out. I hope this game isn't decided by a play that may be ignored in the box score. But I want to take you back to the Braves' 7th inning. First, the pitch to Reyes. Braves got back-to-back singles as Reyes didn't like it. And Joe West doesn't like being called out like that. But Joe West had a big hand in that 7th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Tyler Flowers was up.
Nothing really wrong with that. Oh.
The Braves put on a double steal. Albies took third. Freeman took second. They were called back with 1 out because of umpire interference, we believe. Tyler Flowers then struck out. Camargo popped out, and that was the inning. Swing and a miss. Point being, had that interference not taken place, the Braves would have had runners at second and third, one out. Flowers up and might have changed the entire at bat.
Sure.
Might not have. Won't know. But that was the last great scoring chance for the Braves to extend their lead. As it stands now, it's 3-2. Ray is still muttering as he digs in, down 2 strikes. Bouncing ball to third. Camargo's got it. Low throw. Freeman can't handle it. Everybody's safe. The ball ricochets towards the Mets dugout. And New York's got runners at second and third. So now we got big problems.
Well, bragging on him a play ago, taking his time. He certainly didn't have the luxury of taking his time here, and he knew it with Reyes running, but didn't get enough on this throw on the run. And an in-between hop, not a real short hop for Freddie. Off the glove.
That has scored a 2-base error. And the Mets have runners second and third, one out, and Cabrera the batter. The infield will come in everywhere but shortstop.
And again, this guy terrorizes left-handed pitchers, hitting .383 against lefties on the year.
So the Mets fans start to make some noise in the 8th. Fly ball, well hit, left center. Ender on the run, makes a diving catch. That's going to score Aoki, and Ender's grab saved a run. New York ties it, though, on a sacrifice fly. An incredible running catch by Ender Inciarte.
This ball was hooking, too. He couldn't have hit it any better. Cabrera can't believe it. Ender's playing him in right center, and he saves some of his best work for Citi Field, and he makes another tremendous play. Braves lose the lead, but they could have, I mean, the game is tied, and they could have lost it altogether. 2 runs would have scored.
He's been running pillar to post tonight. And Ender, a few deep breaths now as Brandon Nimmo's up. He's been a tough out. 6 hits in this series, 2 tonight. Reyes still with great speed at second base for New York.
What was supposed to be a magical night for R.A. Dickey will wind up being a no decision.
That missed inside, ball 1. Kevin Plawecki, who hit a home run in the 7th, is the man on deck. A 1-out walk, a 2-base error, and a sacrifice fly. The Mets have a run without benefit of a hit. Beautiful pitch. It's 1-2. Looking ahead to the Braves 9th, Albies, Freeman, and Markakis the first 3, so the Braves will have the right guys at the right time. Will it be a 3-3 game? Here's Familia loosening for New York. And the pitch. Now the 1-2 pitch.
He's had a good fastball again tonight, but the inability to make good pitches to Aoki is how this all got started. He walked the left-handed hitter.
Swing and a miss. Nimmo to a knee, strikes out, and that's the inning. New York gets a run without a hit. Tie game 3-3. We head to the ninth. Shot down the right field line. There it is. Number 200. What an incredible accomplishment. Great night for R.A. Dickey.
Tremendous.
He's given up 5 hits against his former club, the Mets. And unfortunately for R.A. Dickey, no chance to win tonight. The Braves, though, still have a chance to win the game. 3-3 as we head to the ninth inning. As I mentioned, Albies, Freeman, and Markakis are coming up. Juris Familia is back out there for the Mets.
And now we look back at all those men left on base and wonder what if, in what is now a tie game. Familia had his own problems last night. Game 2, he came in the ninth inning to close out a 3-0 lead. The Braves got a leadoff single, then his own error, and then RBIs from Jace Peterson, and a ground out by Kemp to the first baseman Smith, who somehow had a vapor lock and threw to the wrong base, just took an out at first. But anyway, the Braves got a couple of runs off of him. Let's see what they can do tonight.
Good night for Ozzie, who had 5 hits in his previous 35 at bats before picking up 2 hits tonight. Familia out of the stretch and way outside, ball 1. To second, and Reyes from the outfield grass almost handcuffed Smith with that throw. 1 out. Freddie Freeman 2 for 4, 2 singles, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th.
Here's another guy that I'm not sure, but I believe the only game he's missed when he's been available to play was the one where he was ill the other day and was told to stay home. And get this, I told you Inciarte leads the team with 92 runs scored. Freddie Freeman only 10 back of that. He's got 82 runs scored, and he's played in 41 fewer games.
Well, he loves facing the Mets. Can he come through in the ninth? That's outside for the Braves first baseman. Freddie Freeman playing in his 63rd career game at Citi Field. He's hit 8 homers here. That's most of any of the Braves' active players tonight. Freddie not too sure about that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hadn't been too sure about the last 2. That one certainly looked wide.
And a swing and a miss at 97 and elevated. Familia gets Freeman to swing and miss. 2 outs. He looks a lot sharper than last night, but a generous zone will help you do that.
Changed his rhythm on Freddie. Kind of did a LaTroy Hawkins kind of stretch, wind up, quick pitch, and aired out a fastball.
Nick had an RBI double in the first inning. Drives one toward left. Aoki will play it on a hop. So Nick has his 5th hit of the series.
Cabrera had him played correctly. Cabrera was guarding that line at third base because that's where Nick had some hits last night that were instrumental.
That was one of the funny moments in the game. Remember, Cabrera, as the next pitch got ready to be made, was straddling the line and looking at Nick and laughing after he fouled one away down there. But that one out of reach. Tyler Flowers 1 for 3. He's had his share of big hits for the Braves. 7 homers from the 7th inning or beyond. That's 7 of his 12. And Familia's bringing it. Upper 90s gas. 1-1.
Fastball, slider, and occasional split. Markakis does not have a stolen base this year, but he's capable. Milwaukee gave up a couple of stolen bases earlier on one play, but 21% caught stealing coming in.
Got the inside corner.
Yeah, that looked like 2 straight front door sliders. Wasn't supposed to be. Supposed to be down and away.
Milwaukee did a nice job to make that pitch look better than perhaps it was. Now the 1-2. Chopper hit toward third. Funny hop. Bare hand try Cabrera. He just made a great play.
Tremendous.
What a play by Cabrera to break Flowers' heart. A 5-3 put out ends the Atlanta ninth. The Mets come up in the bottom half. Look at this play. And a perfect throw to boot. Get the best seats, the best prices, along with VIP benefits. Join the A-List before November 3rd and pay 2017 prices. Now's the time to get the best seats at the lowest prices. Go to Braves.com/A-List today. Time for the bottom of the 9th inning. The Braves hope to force a 10th frame, and they've got young A.J. Minter on to pitch against New York. Plawecki, Smith, and Rosario, the first 3 scheduled.
He did not work yesterday. He did work in 2 games in the Phillies series, a combined 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts. As you see, has still not walked a batter in his 13 total innings with 20 strikeouts. That's a good strikeout to walk ratio in most leagues.
No other Braves pitcher in the modern era has issued no walks through his first 10 games. And according to the Elias Sports Bureau, his streak is 2 games shy of the modern record set by Hunter Strickland, who went 15 games without a walk.
That's shocking, actually.
So Kevin Plawecki with a 2-run homer off R.A. Dickey to get the Mets back in the game. That came in his last at bat in the 7th. That is nasty. 0-2. Line drive into left field. It's a leadoff single for Plawecki. So he'll be taken down for a pinch runner.
Juan Lagares. Well, that is too hard. Those are 2 hard hit balls by Plawecki. The home run, and now going down to get that fastball. What a good swing.
Rough series continues for Dominic Smith tonight. He's 0 for 8. Hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield tonight. And up and away and in the strike zone. 0-1. That pitch fooled me. Smith batting 199. He has hit the ball on the ground to second twice, but that was off R.A. Dickey. Much tougher assignment against Minter with his mid-90s gas. 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. So now it's 3-1. 10 o'clock in New York. And the Mets have the winning run at first. Juan Lagares, nobody out. And Winter needs an out. Smith fouls that away. It's 3-2. And you see Dominic asking Joe West if that pitch was a strike, and the answer I think was yes.
He usually doesn't ask, he just complains.
Lagares leads at first and is chased back. So now AJ ready again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that ends the walkless streak. First walk for AJ Minter in the big leagues. And it sets up the Mets with 2 on, nobody out.
And isn't it interesting that last inning Sam Freeman, after an out, walked a left-handed hitter, and now AJ for the first time walks a batter, and it's a lefty.
And Chuck Hernandez will slowly walk out to the mound and give Minter a little advice. Glenn Sherlock was talking to Ahmed Rosario, who's the next hitter. One would think this is an ideal bunt situation for the young shortstop.
You would think. He does not yet have one in the big leagues.
So a hit and a walk brings up Rosario, who tripled back in the 7th inning. That was the last batter R.A. Dickey faced. Dan Winkler came on and retired Tyrone to end the 7th, and that was a 3-2 game at that juncture. The Mets got an 8th inning run without a hit. They threatened here in the 9th, 2 on, nobody out. He's showing punt, and it skips up there. The throw back towards short, and Dansby smothers that.
It's like the Braves are going to play it straight defensively. No wheel play on.
Doesn't matter if you don't throw a strike. 2-0. Tyrone waits on deck. Lagares, the runner that counts at second base. The pitch. There's a strike. 2-1.
Usually any bunt play that's put on is put on by the third baseman, but I haven't seen Camargo offer a sign to anyone on the infield in the first 3 pitches. And still no sign. So playing it straight.
Bunted foul. Freddie Freeman was charging hard at first base. And now Glenn Sherlock will again counsel Rosario.
You got a real slow runner at first, but he's able to get a big lead because Freddie is coming in so close. But if he bunts it hard back to the mound, one thought is maybe to go to second and see if you can get a double play from second to first.
Let's see what's up on the 2-2 pitch. Rosario didn't tip his hand. And he tips it into Flowers' glove. Big strikeout. 2 on, 1 away. Tyrone's coming up.
Huge out.
Oh, and you can't get a bunt down in a close game in a National League ball game. What a difference.
And for a player who is not going to be counted on to be a 30 home run guy, got to do those little things right.
So Tyrone with a 1-for-3 night, 2 strikeouts after a 3rd inning single. Double play in order now, which would send us to a 10th if the Braves could get it. And a strike at 96. That's well foul. Now it's 0-2.
Very quick inside though on that slider in, cutter maybe.
This young man had a big year at AAA. Hit 25 homers, scored 75 runs.
Put a real good swing on a knuckleball earlier tonight too.
So he has to protect the plate at 0-2. Barring a double play, Phillip Evans is on deck. Looks like he'll bat next. He's still alive. A ball and 2 strikes.
Outfield's pretty shallow. They know they've got to come up throwing because Lagares runs so well. They had been deep, not wanting a ball hit over their head before the walk to Smith, but after runners were at first and second, winning run at second, they had to come in. You got Rosario on that nice slider slash cutter down and away. He's trying to make that same spot here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. High fly ball hammered toward left. That is over Jace Peterson's head. Lagares will come around and score. And the Mets walk off in the 9th inning and stun the Braves 4-3. A game that was dominated by R.A. Dickey over 6 innings. turns into a heartbreaking 1-run loss thanks to 11 men left on base for the Braves in their 9 trips to the plate. And the Mets take a 2-1 series lead as they walk off Joe in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, and that error that's on the board too, very instrumental on that throwing error by Camargo that set him up for the tying run. Rough night to lose after such a well-pitched game.
So Familia is the winner. Minter is the loser. Mets 4, Atlanta 3, your final. Joe and I will step aside for a moment, join you with a recap on the Braves Live postgame show. That's coming up next.